If Earth cannot save us, maybe Mars will? Let us imagine the future of humanity on the red planet. Earth may no longer be enough. So let us ask, what if humanity had to build a new home on Mars? For as long as humanity has looked up at the night sky, one planet has drawn our imagination more than any other. A red dot, drifting across the heavens, Mars. Cold, distant, mysterious, and yet strangely familiar. It has been the subject of myth, the stage for science fiction, and now, perhaps, the next frontier for our survival. But what if we truly colonized Mars? What would it mean for us, for Earth, and for the future of our species? The dream of reaching Mars is not new. Writers imagined it long before rockets existed. In the 19th century, some believed Mars was home to canals built by an alien civilization. By the 20th century, it became the backdrop for stories of invasion and adventure. But today, Mars is no longer just fantasy. Space agencies and private companies are actively planning missions that could put humans on its surface within the coming decades. Colonizing Mars has moved from the realm of fiction to the edge of possibility. So, let us imagine it. A future where humans leave Earth behind and build a second home on the red planet. What challenges would we face? What technologies would we need? And how would this change the story of humanity itself? First, we must reach Mars. The journey is not short. At its closest, Mars is still more than 50 million kilometers away. A trip with current rockets would take between 6 and 9 months, longer than most sea voyages in history. Astronauts would spend this time confined in small spacecraft, exposed to radiation, isolation, and the dangers of deep space. Even before stepping on Mars, the colonists would endure conditions no humans have ever faced. When they arrive, they would find a world harsh and unforgiving. Mars has a thin atmosphere, made mostly of carbon dioxide. The air is not breathable. The surface pressure is less than 1% of Earth's. Without a spacesuit, a human would suffocate in seconds. The temperature is brutally cold, averaging -60 degrees Celsius. Dust storms rage across the surface, sometimes covering the entire planet for weeks. Radiation from the sun and the cosmos streams down freely because Mars has no protective magnetic field. It is a world designed to kill life, not nurture it. And yet, humans are stubborn. We adapt. Colonizing Mars would mean creating artificial environments where life can survive. At first, this would be small habitats, domes, or underground shelters, sealed against the hostile atmosphere. Inside, they would recycle air and water, grow food under artificial light, and shield themselves from radiation. Each habitat would be a tiny island of Earth, sustained by careful engineering. Over time, these habitats could expand into settlements, greenhouses filled with crops, workshops for building tools and machines, laboratories for research, perhaps even small schools for children born on Mars. Colonization would mean building a complete ecosystem, one that can support humans without constant supply from Earth. This is not just difficult, it is essential. A colony that depends on shipments across millions of kilometers would never be secure. True colonization means independence. The key would be using the resources of Mars itself. The soil, though toxic to humans, contains useful minerals. Water exists, locked as ice beneath the surface and at the poles. Carbon dioxide from the atmosphere can be turned into oxygen and fuel. By learning to live off the land, Martian colonists could break their dependence on Earth. It would be the beginning of a new chapter. Not visitors on Mars, but settlers. But the challenges would not only be physical, they would be psychological. Imagine living in a place where you can never step outside without a suit, where the sky is always red and the stars never twinkle. where Earth is just a pale dot in the distance, a memory rather than a home. Isolation could weigh heavily on the human mind. Communities would need to be strong, cooperative, and resilient. Conflict or despair could be more dangerous than any storm. And then there are the children. What would it mean to be born on Mars? Their bodies might adapt differently to the lower gravity, just 1/3 of Earth's. Their bones, muscles, even hearts could develop in unfamiliar ways. They would never know the sound of rain, the smell of oceans, or the pull of Earth's gravity. To them, Mars would not be a colony. It would be home. They would be the first true Martians. Over generations, this difference could grow. Humans on Mars might become physically distinct from those on Earth, a new branch of humanity, shaped by a new world. Culturally, too, Mars might diverge. At first, the settlers would cling to Earth's traditions, but with time, they would create their own. New holidays, new myths, new ways of life. Colonizing Mars would not just be a technical achievement, it would be the birth of a new civilization. Some dream even bigger. Not only living in small colonies, but transforming the entire planet. Terraforming Mars, changing its environment to make it more Earth-like. This might mean warming the atmosphere with greenhouse gases, thickening the air, melting the polar ice to create rivers and seas. It is a vision of Mars, with blue skies and flowing water, where humans could walk without suits. But this dream is far beyond our current ability. It would take centuries, perhaps millennia, and technologies we do not yet possess. Still, the idea captures our imagination. A dead world reborn as a living one. Why do we dream of this? Why risk so much to build a home on Mars? For some, it is survival. Earth faces threats, climate change, war, asteroids, the unknown dangers of the future. Having a second home could ensure that humanity endures, even if disaster strikes here. For others, it is curiosity. The same drive that led us to cross oceans and climb mountains pushes us now to cross space. And for many, it is destiny. We are explorers by nature. To stop at one planet would be to deny who we are. But colonizing Mars would also change Earth itself. The technology developed for survival on Mars, recycling, sustainable energy, closed ecosystems could transform life at home. Lessons learned on another world might help us save our own. And the very fact of colonization could inspire generations, reminding us that the human story does not end here. There are risks, of course. Colonization could fail. Settlements could collapse. Lives could be lost. But risk is part of exploration. Every great leap in history carried danger. The first sailors who crossed unknown seas did not know if they would return. The first astronauts who left Earth risked everything. The cost would be high, but so would the reward. If we succeed, humanity will no longer be bound to one planet. We will become a multiplanetary species. Mars would be the first step, but not the last. Beyond it lie the moons of Jupiter, the oceans of Europa, the ice of Enceladus, and perhaps, one day, planets of other stars. Mars is close enough to dream of, but far enough to challenge us. It is a bridge to the cosmos. So, what if humans colonized Mars? It would be the hardest thing we have ever done. It would test our science, our endurance, and our imagination. It would change us as a species, dividing us into Earthlings and Martians. It would open doors we cannot yet see. And above all, it would remind us that the universe is not a place we watch from afar. It is a place we belong. One day, a child may stand on the red soil of Mars, look up at the night sky, and see Earth as a bright star shining in the darkness. And they may ask, not, What if we colonized Mars? But what if we never tried?